What's going on, everyone? Welcome into First Take on this beautiful Tuesday from NYC. It's about to be 70s today, Stephen A., so you should be happy about that.
They say it's about to be 70, but damn it, it felt 50 out there. It felt 50.
Yeah, well, you got to give it some time to warm up, the sun to come out, let things cook.
I don't like waiting too long for the heat, Shannon. I don't like waiting too long for the heat.
I get it. You're a microwave guy.
By the way, where's my screen? That screen is black right there. I got to see my boy Shannon. I shouldn't have to look here to see him. I need to look there. Thank you very, very much.
How's this ensemble today? Stephen A., you didn't like the Paisley yesterday, so I figured I'd step it up just a tad today.
My brother, that looks a little bit wild. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, but you can get away with it. You can get away with it. But see, you can't be the Hulk, but then have a blazer that's trying to stand out more than you.
Okay,
that's not gonna work.
Noted.
That would do that. I'm here.
Shannon, do you?
I'm here.
Jeff Saturday,
do you?
great to have you with us.
Do you? You look good, bro. Do you?
Hey, listen.
Appreciate that, Saturday. How you doing this morning?
You ain't Jeff Saturday waving your head like do the curls and all of that stuff like he did last week. You ain't doing that. So that's what's going on.
You have great hair. By the way, NBA season tips off today. Brian Windhorst is going to be here, Tim Legler, and we're going to dive into all of it, especially the Giannis news.
I just want to let the world know I'm here for Shannon all year long because he's going to make a whole bunch of errors talking about LeBron James, and I am here for him. I'm here for him. You know,
if I just say GOAT James, 90% of the time I'm going to be right. That's all I got to say.
Sir.
Well, it's the 10% that really, really counts. But go ahead.
All right, guys. Let's start with Monday Night Football. Brock Purdy loses 2 straight for the first time in his career as the Vikings pull up the upset. The Niners have lost back-to-back games after winning 15 straight. In the regular season, Purdy threw multiple interceptions in a game for the first time in his career, and Monday marked the first time the Niners lost the turnover battle in their last 17 games. Here's Kyle Shanahan on that L.
Flat out got beat, and I think right now you got to take it like a man, and we got a game here, and I think tomorrow we wake up, it'll be 5 days from now. We got a team coming off a bye week who's been waiting for this for a little bit, and we can't sit here and worry about what's happened before this.
Shannon, I want to start with you here. Have you lost confidence?
Purdy wasn't elite. Now all of a sudden, I ain't getting nothing. Nobody was on my timeline. Shannon doesn't know what he's talking about. Shannon's a hater. He's jealous. I didn't get any of that last night. Remember, I said if you remove that hedge, it's amazing. The Minnesota Vikings and Brian Flores says, you know what? We're taking Christian McCaffrey away. We refuse to let him run the football. We want the ball in that elite quarterback's hand, Brock Purdy. And what happened? 2 interceptions. They had 3 interceptions. They had 3 turnovers coming into the game. They had 3 turnovers in their first 6 games.
Okay.
They had 3 last night. And when the defense can't be perfect, Kirk Cousins was 8 of 13 on 3rd downs. When he couldn't be perfect, when everything around him couldn't be perfect, and they asked Brock Purdy to deliver us, he didn't. He didn't do it. He is what he is, because I look at it like this. If Brock Purdy is elite, we need another definition for Patrick Mahomes, because he's ungodly. He's astronomical. He's out of the world. Brock Purdy is what he is. When things are really, really well, he can operate within that system Saturday. But when you ask him to go outside and to be extraordinary, Christian McCaffrey can't run the football. You're down Debo. And then you saw what happened. He is what he is. And I didn't lose confidence because I know what he was to begin with.
I got you. Let me chime in here, Jeff Saturday, because listen. I've lost confidence in him because I had a belief in him. 20 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions in his first 10 regular season starts. That's what we were looking at with Brock Purdy. Yeah, you looked at the system that Kyle Shanahan was putting in place, but then ultimately you looked at Brock Purdy and you compared him to the other quarterbacks that were there compared to what they were doing. And you're saying this is the dude, this is the guy, and it's the future. And I'm not saying that's still not the case, but I'm looking at the velocity on some of his throws, his arm strength, etc. And I'm saying, excuse me, he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. Obviously, timing factors into the equation. You're looking at the chemistry he had with the Debo Samuels and Ayuk, and obviously Christian McCaffrey there, George Kittle, we can't forget that. But with Debo Samuels out there, not having that reliable component to throw the ball to, it seems to have compromised him to such a degree. I also think we got to pay attention to Kyle Shanahan. Did y'all notice that the 49ers since 2017 went down by 5 points or more in the fourth quarter? They are 0-29 under Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle.
Kyle Shanahan. Do you realize that? 0-29 when you're down by 5 or more in the fourth quarter since 2017. I mean, I'm like, my God, really? I had to double check that with my research. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, there's something wrong with it. Go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can I tell you why?
Go ahead,
when you just have guys that are system guys, you can't have that expectation that they're going to be Patrick Mahomes, that they're going to be Joe Burrow, that they're going to be one of these elite level quarterbacks, because he just has guys. You have a Mullen, you have a Brian Hoyer, you have a Jimmy G, you have a Brock Purdy. Yeah, I'm not surprised at that stat, because everybody that you just mentioned and everybody that played in that system are just guys. So without perfection around them, they can't succeed.
I got that part, but what I'm saying is we anticipated and assumed, even with you being, I wouldn't say critical, because you've been more than fair to Brock Purdy, as you are to most of the guys, all the guys that you cover. But I will tell you this, you never mentioned them in the same breath as you mentioned those other dudes. The Mullins of the world and the Hoyers of the world. We thought Brock Purdy was better than that, Jeff Saturday. Now I'm not so sure, and I'm just looking at it now. You're averaging over 33 points a game to start the season 5-0, only 17 points in your 2-game losing streak. 2 turnovers, enter the game with 3 turnovers, a +8 in turnover margin. Now you've had about 3 turnovers and only forced 1 turnover last night. I don't like what I'm seeing. And to have Debo out, and that's really it, Jeff, and for them to be at this point, I expected better from San Francisco. I got to admit that.
Yeah, I wish I was on Shannon's timeline, because I would call him a hater. I would put it on. I should have put it on your timeline, Shannon, because here's the bottom line. Right. Brock Purdy, what you're asking him to do and what I'm not calling him Joe Montana, by no means. I've heard a lot of guys try to compare him, but in the last 2 years, he has thrown more tight window passes for completions than anybody in the NFL. So he's not just a system guy. He does play outside the numbers at times. Here is a situation with them last night. They start the game with a turnover on defense. Now Christian McCaffrey gives the ball back up in the red zone. Can't happen. Drives them back down. They miss another field goal. So as this defense that we talked about all season, being able to lock it down, Kirk Cousins goes out and just runs roughshod on him, throwing the ball for 350 plus, touchdowns, all kinds of things. There was a systematic failure with the 49ers, and it wasn't just about the quarterback. And you made mention, they did shut Christian McCaffrey down in the run game. They didn't run the ball nearly as effective as they had. But it's all in. You got to push all in. He did make that throw to Ayuk, who goes up the middle and gets them in position to make the field goal. That's all you can ask of a QB. He can't do any more. And listen, did he play great last night? I'm not saying he played great, but I have lost no confidence in him. I think the team as a whole has hit a 2-game stretch that is ugly. How many missed tackles did you see last night from San Fran? Bro, they never miss tackles. And I mean, you got Greenwell missing. You got everybody in there. You see Ward have a pick in his hand at the end of the half, and Addison strips it out of his hand and walks in the end zone. Like, those aren't plays that the defense can give up when your offense doesn't have Debo nor Trent Williams starting. So you can't go on Purdy.
Go ahead, Shannon, real quick.
Yeah, and Bosa, the defense didn't play well last night.
No.
They didn't get the pressure that I thought they could generate. No sacks, you're right. And Bosa and Fred Warner was overrunning plays, and they didn't play well. They couldn't get off the field on third down.
That's right.
If you can't get off the field on third down, you give the opposing offense too many cracks at you to get the ball into the end zone. But the reason why I haven't lost confidence in Brock Purdy is because I see him for what he is, not what he isn't.
Okay, we'll leave it there. The Chiefs have now passed the Niners, excuse me. The Chiefs have now passed the Niners as the favorites to win the Super Bowl, that according to Caesar Sportsbook. So that just happened after this game. All right, NBA season tipping off tonight. Let's get into it, folks. Milwaukee.
Xin chào các bạn. Chào mừng các bạn đã đến với kênh YouTube của mình. Và ngày hôm nay mình xin giới thiệu với các bạn quyển truyện Chú mèo mày đến từ tương lai, quyển 32. Và hôm nay mình xin đọc tập truyện Cuốn sách hấp dẫn. Con đã đọc cuốn sách bố mua cho năm ngoái chưa? Sách nào hả bố? À, quyển sách toàn chữ phải không ạ? Con đọc rồi bố ạ. Tốt lắm, con đọc thì thấy thế nào? Nói cho bố nghe đi. Dạ rất hay, có nhiều đoạn ly kỳ hấp dẫn, hồi hộp. Con đọc một mạch hết cả quyển luôn. Cuốn sách đó nói về nhà triết học người Pháp. Làm sao hấp dẫn và hồi hộp được? Đúng là con chưa đọc được chữ gì. Uổng công bố đã bỏ tiền ra mua những cuốn sách bổ ích cho con. Thôi con khỏi cần đọc nữa. Sao bố lại nổi giận vậy nhỉ? Ai bảo cậu không chịu đọc cơ? Cậu thử đọc cuốn sách ấy đi. Những cuốn sách hay chắc chắn sẽ có ích lợi cho cậu. Có ích cho tớ á, mấy quyển sách kiểu đó. Mới cầm lên đã thấy đầu óc quay cuồng. Lật trang đầu tiên là hoa cả mắt, buồn nôn, sốt đùng đùng. Đọc hết 2 đến 3 trang, chắc tớ mất trí nhớ luôn. Chờ tí tớ sẽ đới bách hóa thế kỷ 22 mua cho cậu. Cái này hay lắm. Ai cần nó tham gia cơ chứ. Mình không thích là không thích mà. Con với chả cái, bực mình quá. Mình làm gì thế? Em đang định rời bức tranh này sang chỗ khác. Nguy hiểm lắm. Chẳng may nó rơi xuống thì sao? Để tôi làm cho. Sao mình nhìn tôi thế? Em nhìn không được à? Có người nhìn tôi khó làm việc đấy lắm. Để tôi một mình ở đây đi. Hôm nay ông này lạ thật. Ồ, nguy hiểm quá. Tí nữa bị phát hiện ra quỹ đen. Mình nghi quá. Có thể đó là chỗ giấu tiền riêng của ông ấy. Trời ơi, biết cất nó vào đâu? Xong chưa mình? Tôi đang làm. Ra ngoài chờ tí đã. Thế này được chưa? Được rồi. Mình thay cái quần bẩn ra cho em giặt nào. Không, quần này còn sạch lắm. Đúng là có chuyện mờ ám rồi. À, hay là nhét nó vào mấy cuốn sách là an toàn nhất. Bà vợ mình có biết khi xài đến quyển sách nào đâu. Thế là yên tâm. Lâu rồi em không đọc sách. Có cuốn nào hay không cho em mượn với? Khoan đã, tôi đang định dọn dẹp lại tủ sách. Mình chịu khó chờ thêm một lát nhé. Chẳng lẽ không có chỗ nào cất tiền trong nhà? À, nghĩ ra rồi. Cất trong phòng của Nobita. Kẹp nó vào cuốn sách đó là xong. Cuốn này nó không bao giờ thèm đọc. Nobita đâu hả bố? Nó ra ngoài chơi rồi. Đã bảo chờ người ta mà còn không nghe. Chắc nó chỉ ở nhà Shidoka. Đây là gia vị cho sách. Nó sẽ khiến những cuốn sách chán ngắt trở nên tuyệt vời. Lấy cuốn từ điển tiếng Nhật này làm ví dụ. Cậu có rắc cái gì thì từ điển này vẫn là chán ngấy trên đời. Xem nào, quỹ đen có nghĩa là tiền giấu, không cho người khác biết. Thú vị quá. Chỉ người đọc mới thấy hay thôi. Thử rắc vào cuốn danh bạ điện thoại này. Tiếp theo là thử như vậy đủ rồi đấy. Mau về nhà đọc cuốn truyện vĩ nhân đi nào. Liệu có hấp dẫn hơn không nhỉ? Ôi hay thật. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc. Xin chào các bạn và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở các video tiếp theo.